Hello, this is Allison Scott, and I'm speaking to you from my home in Cape Town, South Africa. And I'm very pleased to announce the publication of my book, the first book in the series, called Spiritual Chat on Practical Matters, the series. And this is book 1, and it's called Spiritual Chat on Death and the Loss of a Loved One. It's been published through Balboa Press, and the book is on my journey to healing after the loss of my husband in December 1987. I believed in life after death, and I believed in reincarnation. I believed all kind of way out there things, but had no proof of any of it. I just went by a gut feeling. So of course, with the death of my husband, it put everything to the test, because then I wanted to know, well, how do I know for real that there is life after death? How do I know for sure they can contact you? So I kept on asking for signs and asking for signs, and I got so many signs that back then people were saying, you need to write a book, you need to write a book. And I said, no, there's many books written on this kind of thing. If I need to remember a story, I'll remember it in a second. But as time went by and I did energy healing training, and then discovered that even though I believed all that I believed and got so much proof of it, I still wasn't able to stop the grief from being locked into my energy system. And it sounded a little bit far-fetched when I did the training, and of course I'm the world's biggest skeptic, so I questioned and questioned and questioned, but then discovered I was always a giggler at school. I used to get into so much trouble in class or in assembly, getting hysterical because this vision would go on in my head about whatever's happened, taking it to the cartoon level, and I would get into so much trouble. But after Ian's death, I had stopped the giggling. I mean, I was never able to control it before, and it got to the point where I didn't even, if something was even really, really funny, I would be slightly amused. I'd never be able to get myself even to laugh, let alone hysterically. And so that's when I discovered how powerful the energy healing part was of it. But prior to that, a girl that I worked with had lost her baby, her first baby, who was a special needs baby and had to be in a home to get 24-hour care. And the mom used to go there every single day. And when she was 7 months pregnant with her second baby, the first baby died. And so she had gone to, unbeknownst to me, she had gone to a psychic medium who had put all the things to rest of why things happened as they did. And so then I was wondering, well, I don't really trust that kind of thing. So I had read the book on the death of my son by Jasper Swain, which is now called The Gift. And I thought, well, if I'm going to see someone, it's got to be the lady from the book. And so through a weird lot of synchronistic things, I mean, who gives out the judge's home telephone number if he's off sick? But within 2 hours, I was sitting in front of this woman, not even knowing if she had died, because the book had been written 20 years before. So once I did the energy healing training, with the psychic medium, there were so many things she told me to look out for signs. If the music plays that reminds you of the individual, it means it's them telling you that they're with you. Not, oh my God, I feel so bad right now, and now I also have to hear our song, which now makes me feel worse, because we always take it in the wrong way. But in actual fact, that's their way of showing you that they're actually with you. So I've had clients over the years that I've helped all around the world deal with loss and helped to overcome shock and trauma, and that's through the energy healing. And with some of them where I thought the stories were really good to share, their stories are in the book. I'm really proud of how the book turned out. My intention was to be able to help people all around the world, because every time I was speaking to someone and telling them the stories and of my experience, I thought, this is not something that's just pertinent to this individual. This is information that everybody should know to help them overcome loss, because we are meant to go on with our lives. So, and many of us stop dead in our tracks with the loss. So we never experience our lives to the full from that point on. And I've had people in their 60s and 70s who lost the parent when they were under 5 or under 10, and they've never dealt with the loss. When they speak about it, they still get emotional as if it happened right now. So the book is, the journey of the book is from the loss to the transition and then to the healing. So I talk about all the things the signs that you can look out for. I talk about if someone dies through accident. I talk about soul contracts. So some of the information may be challenging to some people, but I hope people read it with an open mind and just take whatever feels right to them at this time. And whatever doesn't, just leave it. If it challenges your belief system, I'm only telling you my story, and I proved it beyond all possible doubt for me. So all I'm asking you is just ask for signs, and ask and then some. I think the whole of heaven goes, oh my gosh, Allison's asking for signs again. Because I really, really, really want 10 just to make sure there's been no mistake along the way. And so the feedback that I've been getting from people regarding the book has actually been mind-blowing, because my intention was for people to receive healing just by sharing my story and the story of others that I've been able to assist over the years. I never dreamed of the impact it would have and what it has been having on people that have read the book. And the whole process of because I didn't understand why the book was called Spiritual Chat on Death and the Loss of a Loved One. This is just what came to mind. It was only when I'd started writing it a few years back, because this has been an ongoing work in progress, I realized when I got divorced in 2009, oh my goodness, that's a loss. And that, I sometimes think, is a greater loss than loss through death, because with death, it's got closure. But when it's a divorce, you still have to see the person. They're still in your arena because you have children and family and all that kind of thing. And I understood why a couple of ladies at my work at the time when my husband died said to me, you don't realize how lucky you are that if he was going to leave you, that he died. And I thought they were out of their minds, because how could they possibly say that? But they said, because he didn't leave you because he wanted to. He still loved you. Whereas with divorce, and both of them had experienced divorce, it's a far more difficult process to go through. It's not a real closure thing. So there's lots of stuff that you go through that can't easily be put in a box. So I've included divorce. I've included loss through death, loss of a pet, loss through suicide, to help people understand what happens when a person commits suicide, what near-death experiences are, what soul contracts are, why things happen in our life as they do, and how things unfold in perfect order. And they say, what do they call it? Hindsight is a science in itself, but it's always, you're only able to see it months later when you look back and realize, oh, that's why that happened as it did. But at the time, you're reeling from the shock of whatever's happened. So I hope you get to read this book. I hope that it brings you peace and comfort, and mainly that you know that your loved ones are with you always, and they are always giving you signs that they know exactly what's going on in your life and that they are around you. So even if it's 20 years ago, they know if there's a new baby in the family. I've had amazing signs still to this day. And so the book is available on Amazon, on Balboa Press. You can get it from me personally if you want an autographed copy. And I'd love you to please give me feedback, as I'd really like to know what effect the book has had on you, so that I can share it with others for them to see that just by reading a book, healing can occur. So I will put my details below this video so that you can get hold of me. But my email address is info@allisonscott.com. That's ALLISONSCOTT.com. And my website is www.allisonscott.com. I hope to hear from you with great love from my heart to yours. This is Allison Scott. Goodbye.